Hi everyone, welcome back to TS Talks. Hope you're doing good, keeping safe. Now in this one, the particular topic I'm talking about is how to debunk conspiracy theories. Now, with everything that's currently going on, obviously there's a lot of theories going by, but just in general, conspiracy theories, they've been going on for decades. They're still going on at present, and they will be going on in the future as well. They're just things that happen. Some of them sometimes turn out to be factual, and sometimes they turn out to be a load of nonsense. As an example, I remember back in 2012, there was loads of theories. I heard that the world's gonna end. I remember some people said it was gonna end. I think it was at the London Olympics, at the opening ceremony, and there was a big one saying it's gonna end on the 21st of December 2012. Obviously, none of that happened, as you know. We're at the end of 2020 now, but there's a loads of things that people that were adamant that this is what was going to happen, but it weren't the case. And with everything that's gone on this year with the whole COVID-19 coronavirus, there's been a lot of conspiracy theories this year in regards to COVID-19, and in my opinion, the only way that you can debunk conspiracy theories is to hit them with facts. Or if you're someone that's speaking from a point of power, you need to kind of put across a message which kind of you're debunking the theory, but you're giving a fact, a proved fact as to why. And if it's something that you're proved wrong on, there's something that you need to be held accountable for. So, I remember back before we went on to the national lockdown, there was talks about the national lockdown, which, it's happened. But there's talk that, the army's going to be on the street and, you're not going to be able to go nowhere. And there was one where I saw a video sent about where they showed this army trucks and they're saying, yeah, the army's going to be on the streets and stuff. And even then I was like, I don't really believe that, man. Like, London's a big enough city with many back roads. There's no way, there's going to be armies on the street and stuff. And obviously, 9 months later, I ain't seen no army people on the streets. So, that's something that's been proved to been wrong. Obviously, no one at the time came out and said about it, but, it's something that's been proved to been wrong. Obviously, there's been theories since that, this is all like a psychological thing. It's a plot to, take control of people. Again, no one in a place of power has come out and debunked that and said, no, that's not the case. This is a serious thing, etc., etc. The whole thing about which has been talked about for time about things going cashless. A lot of companies have felt, as a way for them to stay open, and to kind of put across that they won't be involved in any potential spread of a virus. A lot of places have moved to, contactless payment, which, I did a video on a couple months ago, where someone at a Starbucks, weren't having it and said, it's legal tender. At the end of the day, regardless of where contactless payment may be easier and help not spread a virus, at the end of the day, no, government official, put out there that, where, although it would be preferred, at the end of the day, cash is legal tender and you are still obliged to accept it. You know what I mean? That wasn't put in place. So that again feeds into people's minds that are like, okay, this may be a plot to, make things go cashless or whatnot. And then obviously the biggest one which people are talking about is the whole, the vaccine. Obviously, there was the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine, which was approved probably about a month or so ago now. All this talk about this stuff seems to be all that's going on. But obviously when that came out, there's people before it was even approved, people were saying that, how, the companies would be, they'd be excluded from any legal action if anything was to go wrong. I think I actually did a video on that. I saw it in a news article. And, it basically, when it came out, it basically stated that, they're protected from legal action, which again makes people think, well, if this thing's meant to be so safe and it's meant to help people, why is it excluded from legal action? If someone is to take a vaccine that, a company has made and it causes them certain health defects, someone needs to be liable and responsible for that, and that's just the reality of it. But no one has yet come out and debunked that. Obviously, in the last day or so, they've announced that their second vaccine's been approved. I think it's the Oxford AstraZeneca one. I haven't seen anything yet to say that that one's been excluded from legal action, but still, if the first one is, until they say otherwise, people will assume this one isn't. And yeah, that's a theory that people are going to think, well, no one's yet debunked it or kind of no one's yet debunked it or stated, well, actually, no, there is if something was to go wrong and whatnot, this is the course of this. Another thing in regards to the vaccine is that there's, a high theory about, it containing some sort of microchip, which, is some sort of controlling mechanism and stuff. And people, some people say, oh, yeah, that's ridiculous, that's nonsense. Well, at the end of the day, these people that, are in charge and, talking highly about the vaccine, that's, your Boris's, your Chris Whitty, Hancock, all these people, they need to be coming out there and stating that, well, no, this is not the case, and kind of putting across some level of fact, whether that's the CEO of the vaccine companies as well. So it's things like this, which, truth be told, I've said it many times, I don't trust these guys anyways. But the fact that these are the same people that have, not done a great job in dealing with this situation, as 9 months on, we seem to be in a worse situation now than we was in back in March. None of them can yet turn around and say how a lockdown's been effective, how wearing masks has been effective, none of this stuff, how social distancing has been effective. But yet the whole country is meant to trust them on taking a vaccine, but yet people that have genuine fears of this can't they can't state, oh no, this anything regarding any people's concerns or anyone that's skeptical regarding it. To me, I think that's a bit skeptical, and people have the right to be skeptical at the end of the day. I see a lot of things online that people say, oh yeah, well, oh, I think I spoke about in a previous video, like, you'd eat this sandwich, or, you'd buy drugs from a certain dealer, but you wouldn't take the vaccine and whatnot. And at the end of the day, you take certain drugs, you have a certain effect. You eat certain food, you probably end up with food poisoning, diarrhea, that sort of stuff. Something getting injected into your body, if something happens, it's not something where it's like, okay, well, we can just take it out. It's, it's in your bloodstream and that's the end of it. So people do have the right to, if they have any questions, to have their questions, queries, fears, doubts, addressed by the right people and the people that's meant to have a point. And another theory I've heard about this vaccine, there's probably more, but I'm just going by a few, is about how it will affect your DNA. And this is where these people need to come out and say stuff. Now, the guy I have in the picture above, David Icke, he's had many things to say about everything regarding COVID and how it's a psychological thing, and it's a control thing and whatnot. And, about a month or so ago, he was removed off Twitter. They said that his tweets were, I think, anti-Semitic or something like that, which, as far as from what I could see, I didn't see nothing on there. But at the end of the day, these sort of things build into people's belief that, oh, that maybe he has a point. And to be fair, I've seen a couple of people, which I think they're obviously against the conspiracy theorists, have said that, they would prefer those people ain't removed off social media, or their posts ain't removed off social media, because all it does is feed into people's beliefs that these theories are actually therefore truthful. And all I'm saying from my personal point of view is that the people in charge need to, address these things. And, if they're found to be proven wrong, then obviously a certain amount of legal action or action needs to be taken against them. Even with Witty, I even know his full details, but there's talks that apparently he'd received certain amount of millions from, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. All these questions need to be addressed to these people, and they need to answer it. And the issue that we have in this country is that a certain part of the media, obviously they're, government funded, and, they have to put an agenda as to what they're told, and therefore they don't ask the harsh questions that, these people want to answer. And yeah, it's a shame, it's annoying, but, me giving my thoughts on this, because there's some stuff I hear I just laugh about. There's some stuff I hear that I'm thinking, okay, but I'm not losing any sleep over it. But in my personal opinion, even Keir Starmer said it the other day in House of Politics. But, a big issue this 2020 year has been a public trust in the government. And when you have these things floating about, the best way to deal with it is to address it head on. And, if you know it's nonsense, it's going to be very easy to address it head on. When you don't address it head on, it gives more people the belief in the fact that maybe there is some truth in it. But, that's it for me talking on the subject. Otherwise, I'll probably be talking for another, I'll be talking for hours or so. But yeah, that's my thoughts on it. I feel that's how you can debunk conspiracy theories. And as I just mentioned, it's probably a lot easier to debunk it if your response to it is actual facts. If there's anything dodgy or you can't be truthful in your response, then you won't respond to it and address the people. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it all. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you haven't already done so, go hit that subscribe button now, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.